We're 1 hour away. He's coming. Eigh8t The Chosen One is coming. All right, hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Staring into the Abyss. I am your host, Horror author James Hershey Jr., and with me as always is old boy James Ash. How you doing, brother?
How are you doing, brother? How you doing, Misfits?
I'm doing really, really good, man. Tonight, we have a very, very special guest. We have an actor, a rapper, and an all-around badass. Eigh8t The Chosen One. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fucking amazing. It's great to be here.
It is damn good to have you, man. I have checked out a lot of your stuff. First of all, everybody knows about the American Guinea Pig series, badass, gory movies. I mean, some of the goriest stuff out there. And a lot of that stuff is really cool. But today, I was kind of going a little deeper on your YouTube channel. And I was checking out some of your videos, like your rap videos and stuff. And I came across this one that I absolutely loved, dude. It was called Racist. That was the coolest damn song I've ever heard. I've never heard anything like that before.
Oh yeah. I let it fly on that one, and that was a time where yeah, I mean, I felt like I was not allowed to say what I wanted to say, and I just felt that I have to be so careful at that time in music. I was always being pressured. Oh, you got to be careful. You can't do that because of the hip hop community, and I just thought, well, that's bullshit. And people took the song the wrong way. Like, I want to say the N-word. I don't want to say it. If I wanted to say it, I would just say it. It wasn't about being able to say the word. It was just about just when things aren't fair, you want everything in hip hop, but give nothing. That's what it felt like to me at the time. And I was pissed off, and I wrote it, and I don't regret it. I mean, yeah, but it is a controversial song.
See, for me, and this may be just my opinion, but for me, what I didn't really get that you wanted to say the N-word out of that song. What I got out of that song was, I guess the spirit of the song was just truth. I'm a big truth guy. I'm all about telling the truth and being honest and honorable. And to me, that song was just a real bit of truth in a forum, with YouTube, where there's not a lot of truth a lot of times. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things I love the most about you, brother, is that you are truthful. You're honest. You know what I mean? You tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. And I have a hell of a lot of respect for that.
I appreciate that. You know why? Because I know a lot of people, when they write their albums, they follow, TMZ, gossip columns. They want to write what's, topical, what's going on. And I get that. I do. But me, I like to just lock myself in the room and not have any opinions around me. And I like to think about, well, what do I think? What do I really, really think? And that's where, on that album, which is the album that got my name out there, the artist the radio won't play in the industry doesn't want you to hear, but songs like Government and, Industry Won't Let You Hear. But there were a lot, and Metrosexual, there were a lot of controversial topics. And some I made light of. That one I didn't. But yeah, the thing I didn't like is the a certain part of the community just took from it that I wanted to say that word. But I laughed that off. I'm like, if I want to say the word, I would just say the word. But I didn't, I don't have a desire to say the word. I mean, it doesn't do anything for me. I want to be treated fairly because I feel like you want to be treated fairly. If you want to be treated fairly, I want to be treated fairly. And it felt like in the hip hop community at that time, it was being said, look, you're white, you didn't invent this, you didn't make this, so you need to respect the culture, you need to respect the culture. And I get that. I do understand. But what if I said, well, I invented this, I invented the telephone, or my people invented this. You need to respect this. You need to respect this. You need to bow down to that. That's what it felt like they were saying to me. And I never liked that. I don't respond well to threats because I don't do that to people. I just want to be treated the way I would treat someone. And I think that's a shitty way to treat people, is demand something.
Oh, I agree 100%, bro. Now, let's go to your horror stuff, okay? Because I know you have some amazing news coming up, and I'm not going to steal your thunder, even though I think I know what's going on, but I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to let you take this and make the announcement that you're dying to make, because I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Well, there's probably a few announcements. But the big announcement on my mind right now is that I'll just go. Can I go through a few things and then drop it for you?
Go ahead.
All right. So Crack Baby Billionaire is a film that we've been working on for well over a year. I mean, I cannot express how much creativity, how much has went into this film. The director and writer of the film, John Miller, this guy has sacrificed. I couldn't tell you, but being a close friend of his and watching him work and just watching everything that this man has gone through to put his heart, soul, creativity into this shit, he's done a lot. And I know that I have exhausted all my resources for this film. So it's just been this huge ongoing effort that I wouldn't trade anything for, regardless of the outcome. And that's not me making a safety blanket statement saying, well, if it fails, that fucking thing ain't going to fail. However, if it did fail, I'd happily sink to the bottom of the ocean laughing all the way, knowing I gave it fucking everything and my soul to that film. So no, that's not part of the announcement, but I just had to squeeze that in there because doing that film and being around that scene, I had knew Sean Donahue. Now everyone knows I recently did a film with him, Death Escort Service 2. And, to cut all the bullshit out the way, that was kind of, let's just say that was the interview, me doing that role. I knew a lot was on the line. I wanted to prove to those guys that I had something special and I work fucking hard. And that's what something special comes from, is from how hard I work. I won't ever sit here and claim to say I have some special talent. I work my fucking ass off and I sacrifice everything I have for what means something to me. Well, through that performance, I believe, me and Sean got to talking, and lo and behold, a movie is now pretty much completely written. It's set in stone. We're going to be working on it. I'm starring in that, and that is Heartbreak Killer. And that's director Sean Donahue. That's your boy Eigh8t The Chosen One. And that's a landmark of my career. It's a movie. It's a role that I've never done before. It's something different, and that's what I always want to do. I don't always want to hop on the same thing, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but that is a major announcement. That is a movie you want to keep an eye out for. It's being put together. Actors are being sought out. Everything is going into the making of that, but I can tell you that is going to be fucking huge.
Awesome, dude.
And
I can't wait.
And Sean Donahue is going to smack one out of left field. That's all I'll say.
Awesome.
That sounds like it's going to be cool as shit. When you get the trailers and all that stuff ready for it, once all that begins, send us some message with the trailer. We'll put it on the Facebook page and all the different pages.
Yep.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, before, we can get into plenty of acting stuff, and I'll dish all that shit out, especially American Guinea Pig. I'll tell you why the mask came off. I'm gonna let everything go tonight. Would you guys like a little personal tonight? Because I'll get into some personal shit right off the bat.
Do it, bro. Do it.
Brother.
I want to hear it. Go ahead. Fuck yeah.
All right. Well, anyone who knows me they know that I am a very humble person, but I'm a very driven, a very passionate person. I work hard. When I do a role, I want to, I want to sacrifice my body. I want to sacrifice my mind. I want to sacrifice myself spiritually. Like I got to put everything into any little thing I do, because when I walk away from it, I got to know that I'm walking away and I cannot have anything on my conscience saying that I did not do my best. If there is a question of I didn't give everything I fucking had, if I don't walk away from this interview tonight and say, man, I didn't lay it on the line for these guys, then I failed. It doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. Like that's the type of person I am. In that same sentence, I'm a very confident person. I believe, like, if I have a vision, I can achieve that shit. I don't so much believe in dreams as much as I believe in goals. I turn dreams into goals. Goals are achievable. But look, here's the dirty. So everyone knows I went through some shit on YouTube. I was in a very bad spot, a very rough spot, and I never talked about it. Well, we're talking about it right now. And that was a divorce. And I don't have anything bad to say about my ex. Matter of fact, I wish her the best and I wish me the best. Sometimes people just grow apart. However, that is what happened. And that shit was catastrophic. And I'm also not the type of person to sit here and, delve into so much personal shit. But the reason I'm going to start doing this now, and the reason I'm going to start doing this on my YouTube channel, and the whole format is going to change, is because I know that people look at me and they see the natural bodybuilding, they see the acting roles, and they think that it's easier, or that somehow that I can just get by. And I get what they're saying. I get how it may look easy, but it's a mindset. My mindset after that divorce happened was, okay, this has happened. This is fucked up. But the part that I embraced was that album, My Empire. Now look, I know I'm spinning in big circles here, but you guys just got to hang on. My Empire I had under my belt for 2 fucking years, and I wouldn't release it because I felt I was too happy. Like life was going too good. That divorce was the greatest fucking thing that ever happened to me because it opened so many doors. When that catastrophic drop happened in my life and shit just exploded, well, it gave me that pain again. It was like, oh, I don't know where my life's going. I don't even know if I could talk to a girl at this point. I don't know what's going on. Where am I? Who am I? Who am I alone? And I started to embrace it. And I'm like, great, I feel like shit. I'm back to the negative person I was when I was writing all this music. Now I'm going to release this album. And the craziest shit about this whole divorce was my album was doing good on the charts, even though I didn't have the money to promote it. It didn't go #1, and I expected that because #1, I didn't have the money to promote it, and it wasn't a poppy album. But the crazy thing was when that single came out, about my wife, which she deserved, it's a great song. Everyone's hitting me up. Oh my God, I'm so jealous of your relationship. I'm so jealous of your love. And this whole time I'm going through a divorce, like sitting back laughing like, oh shit, well, that's weird. But to sum it up, I embrace the negative. When shit happens to me, I embrace it and I'll use it. I will siphon that energy into something positive. And by the way, I'm training for a new role in a Chris Woods film and I blew my fucking knee out. But I'm not going to sit here and complain about every YouTube video or always say that, oh, this is bad. Man, I love the fucking fact that I blew my knee out. It's great. It happened at work, and whatever. It happened. But you know what? That's going to make me greater in a different way. It sucked when it first happened, but it taught me, you know what? I'm going to work my way around this. They say I need squats to grow. I need deadlifts to grow. Bullshit. I will find a way. I don't give a fuck. If it's in my mind, I can do it. That's me, dude. I can do it. I don't give a fuck what happens in life. I know drastic things can happen. You can be laid up on a hospital bed and, knock on wood. I hope that doesn't happen. But until it does happen, until something fucking happens, life is never going to stop me. And I'm the type of guy that when life starts happening and shit starts raining down on me, I'm fucking punching back. You better fucking beat me into a grave and put a fucking spike in my head because I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to fucking stop. And other than that, that's me.
It's funny how pain really does purify. Everybody's heard that saying, but there's a hell of a lot of truth to that. I mean, like me personally, in my art, what I do, there's a lot of pain involved there because I dream what I write. You know what I mean? So I experience and live through that shit. So there's a lot of pain. And I've heard a lot of other artists that I've talked to have said the same thing, that if you're too happy and things are going too well for you, your art suffers. So it's this weird dichotomy in the life of an artist to where you want to be happy because everybody wants to be happy. But if you get too happy and too comfortable, then you can't create the same kind of shit that you used to create. You know, it's a really weird thing that happens to us.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you listen to the song off my last album, My Empire, Ugly Pain, I mean, I think that sums up, everything as an artist. I mean, that's a song, for artists by an artist. But let me say this, I have this saying, right? In a lot of the MMA gyms, there's this saying, wrestlers stick together. Like, me and you, James, if you're a striker and I'm a wrestler and we're best friends, but another wrestler comes into the gym that everybody hates. I mean, me and him are going to flock to each other. We're just going to get along because wrestlers stick together. There's that bond. And I have that feeling about writers. I believe writers stick together. There's something in that genetic code, like the pain that we go through. And I'm not trying to gloat or glamorize pain, but there is something there. There is something that makes a talented writer. And like, I'll tell you, man, we're all different. Like my grammar is super shitty. If you've seen something I wrote, you'd be like, oh my God, but you would feel the pain in it. You would feel it. Artist to artist, you would feel it. And that's it. Writers stick together. I truly believe that. That's something I'm always, quick to say when I find a writer in my presence. Like, I'm like, oh, you're a writer? Hey, I just love it. I love picking their brain.
And see, you hit upon something so important there, because too many people now put an extreme amount of emphasis on the structure of the writing. They want to use flowery vocabulary. They want to impress you with their genius. When in reality, that's not what matters. What matters is exactly what you said, the feeling. Okay, you've got to feel the work. If you're reading something and it takes you on a journey, and it makes you forget that your rent is late, or your wife is fucking the mailman, or whatever the hell terrible thing is going on in your life, if you can read something and it takes you away from that, it's like a little mini vacation, and you can feel it and you can live it, you can breathe it, you can taste it. That is what true writing is. That's what art is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Too many people nowadays, they have books that are amazing sellers, but they're just shit. I mean, I've read some of them and you just don't feel anything. You've got to have that soul in it, man.
Yeah, I mean, what are we looking for at the end of the day when we read a book or watch a movie or have a conversation? I mean, at least me, I'm looking for a connection. That's why I call myself a man of the universe. Like, I'm always looking for a connection. I'm looking for a connection to art, but I want to feel something. Same thing why I sacrifice the way I do for the things I love, because I always want there to be something. I don't want emptiness, I guess. It's cool to look at a picture and you could paint the most fucking incredible picture. Like today at Spooky, I went there and this beautiful artist, Morgan, had this picture. It stood out to me. It's nothing I would ever buy, but for some reason it was just going to be perfect for my new apartment. And I'm like, holy shit. There was some connection. I started talking to her and I could tell that there was a lot of pain in her voice, although she was a happy person. And it was just an incredible feeling. There was a connection with that piece of art just by looking at it. And I feel, although writing, you're reading into it, you're diving into the words, but I get it. You're artistry. It's a play on words, and you want to be hypnotic with your wordplay. I'm kind of the same way with rap, but at the same time, I want the feeling. I think a big wake up call is when the first time I was in the studio and someone stopped me and said, "You know why I like you?" And I'm like, why? They said, because you emphasize on your cuss words. You don't use them as connectors. He's like, when we have rappers coming here, it's like motherfucking this and da-da-da, fuck da-da. They're like, but you emphasize when you have something powerful to say, you say fuck. Like you emphasize it. You're passionate. And I was like, yeah, I am. That's right. But I had no fucking idea I was doing it.
One other thing you do that's very interesting, and I hope you don't mind me saying, but it's something that I picked up on from not only the rap videos, but also some of your videos where you're just talking, and now talking to you right now on the radio, I can feel the same thing. It's it's hard to explain, but it's like a presence. You know what I mean? It literally feels like we have a couple titans in the studio. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. Coming up to this show, bro, it was like this feeling of anticipation, like a storm was coming. You know, like something
Yeah.
amazing was getting ready to happen. You could just feel it. It's like when you're playing music, because I used to be a musician many, many moons ago myself, and it's like when you're playing, you hit that moment, that vibe, that flow, and you can almost reach out and touch it. It's so real. You know what I mean? That same feeling of excitement. That's what I felt before the show, and that's kind of what
Oh.
you bring when you come into a room. I would say.
I mean, I cannot speak. I cannot speak on what I bring. I mean, that's the part that I will tell you is my. You know, I guess I would say I hate as an artist. I hate the feeling of I cannot judge my own actions. I can't feel my own performance. I mean, you know what I mean? Like now I know we're just talking, and I know that when I talk to people, anytime I meet someone new, they tell me two things. One, they either tell me that I'm very intense or they tell me I'm different, which I fucking love because what is the opposite of intense? I don't want to be that. And if they tell me you're different, then I'm always like, yeah. I mean, if I was 14, that would have hurt me. But now I'm like, well, fuck, I don't want to be the same. But then I'm not trying to be different. I'm me. And that's where I'm going. That's why I'm letting the shit fly tonight, because this is where my YouTube channel is going. I'm just letting it fly, man. You know, it's cool that I built perception as reality, that people look at me in a certain way, and that's cool. But they're always going to look at me that way. People want to take away the hard work. I don't give a shit about that. None of these fucking people know that I've been working at a job for over a decade and sacrificing. But guess what? I don't look at my job like a sacrifice. I look at my job like this. Are you ready for this shit? To all you fucking people that hate your job out there, man, I love my job. You know the worst thing that could fucking happen to me is that I hit the lottery tomorrow. Man, I pray that shit don't happen to me. I pray that I have to work 60 hours a week every week, because you want to know what? I bust my ass for acting. And if I can work 60 hours and fucking rehearse my lines and crank all the shit that I'm cranking in and never have the time but somehow make the time and do natural bodybuilding and stay on my meals, then nobody wants it fucking more than me. And that's not an ego thing. That's because I love it that much. If I can do that, I love it. I fucking love it. I don't want nobody to take that away from me. I want to work that hard. That makes it mean something to me. But you give me something easy. You tell me tomorrow I can be a part of this movie and it's just cake, but it's a huge movie. You can fucking have it.
Are you ready for the storm now?
Oh, is the storm here yet?
It's coming.
I think it's coming.
Now it's my turn. Happy to have you on here, Eigh8t. I'm old boy. Now you finally get to meet somebody probably is pretty intense himself, but you're not. I'm going to have a new word for you. You're more unique, but in a different way. And I'm going to explain this to people why I've always wanted to meet you. And it's not the way sorry, I'm not the best at words. Like everybody else, oh, he's famous. It's because you're pretty similar. Like James said it, like two titans. And I get to meet somebody on the same level as me because my mind works different than other people's. My mind's fucked. And I've gone through a lot of things during when you were doing this. And I want you to know this. And this is what a lot of people don't realize. When I watched your videos and when Sean and all them and Brandon, you know, about the hoarding in Wet Movie 1 and all them, out of all those guys, you're different than them. I don't care what Sean or whatever, Sean, they're cool guys, but there's nothing like you. I've never seen anybody like you. And that's what drawed me with the mask and everything. It's your intensity. It's the way you just don't give a fuck, just like I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks of me. Trust me. Me and James are so opposite, but we work so well. It's crazy. But you helped me during bad times in my life. I'm not going to get into it, but there's reasons, because I got your sense of humor. I got how you are and how you think. We have the same, like a movie. My favorite movie is The Evil Dead 2. Now you might remember who I am. I have the same. That's my favorite movie. And there's reasons why. It's not because Army of Darkness and Evil Dead were they were horrible movies. It's because I just think that was more of a twist than the first one, and they really actually tried to make the movie. Because Evil Dead 2, I mean, the original one was a classic, but it was cheese, bro. We all know that. But it was an awesome movie. I love Bruce Campbell. He's my favorite actor. But I get you more than people think. Because when you talk, you're not talking down on people. You're talking to people about how you want to change the person you are. You want to be who you are, and you became that, bro. Don't let anybody fucking ever tell you any fucking thing different. You are who you said you were going to be 8 years ago. Look at your videos 8 years ago and look who you are now. Who cares what happened in the past? We all have fucked up lives, dude. And we all have to deal with it. And we all have good things and bad things in our life. It happened. But you did exactly what you said you were going to do, just like I did. This is a goal talking to Eigh8t right now. This is why I want you to know that. And it's not all I'm just kissing his ass. I don't kiss anybody's ass. You can ask James. I'm very intense. I'm very controversial with what I say. And now look at me. I have people hating on me now, Eigh8t, like you did a couple years ago when you bought that one CD out. People were talking crap and running their mouths. I saw it and I just said, fuck them, dude. Fuck them, dude. And that's what I did. Now I got my own shirt. I'm on a radio station. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm just confident, just like you are. And I just always were drawn to you, dude. I'm telling you right now, you're different in a good way, epically like unique. And I got you different than what people probably think. Oh, this guy's just putting a big act on. That was you, bro. That's how you are. You have a twisted mind, but it's a good thing. I just wanted you to know that.
No, it's an absolute honor to know that. I mean, compliments mean everything to me. And I know, let me state this and then I'll go into something else too. People often tell me, oh, you look very good. Oh, your arms are getting bigger. And I carry myself in a certain way. Like, yes, I can talk with intensity. I am very passionate, but my face is kind of stone. You know what I mean? When I smile, but sometimes I'm guarded. I'm a Virgo, part of it's not my fault, but I do. They mean the world they mean the world to me. Compliments mean the world to me, not in an ego sense, but fuck, man, I want to make great art and I want to help people. You want to know what my secret is on this earth? That's it. I want to make great controversial art because I love it. My goal may change. I love building my body, because I'm always building. If I'm not creating, if I'm not doing anything, that's why I do all this shit, because I start to feel like a fucking loser. That has nothing to do with anyone else or how they feel. That's just how I am. I do have mental problems. What I did was, as a kid, you don't know who you are or what the fuck you got going on, but I had all these problems. And I just started taking my problems and chasing good things with it, like putting it into healthy eating and this and that. So, I managed it in a different way. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like all my shit's together. I have problems. Hey, let's talk about this, man. You're saying a hard life and things you won't get into. One thing that, upsets me online is sometimes people are in a mental fucked up place and you can't do nothing about it. Sometimes people are going through something so bad, so difficult, but nothing you say can touch them at that point. And we all have been at that low. A lot of us have been at that low. And I just want to tell everyone something here on this show tonight. The Dark album, which was an album that never got released, I was basically going to blow my brains out in the studio after I was done with that album, because I felt like I had said everything I could say at the age of, 22 or 23 when it was done, whatever it was. It could have been younger, but, or it could have been older. Anyway, that was a fucked up time in my life. And I always remember that time. I never forget that. Like, that was the plan. And I just want to stop and say to everyone who's listening, if there's anything that you get from this show, if you're going through a hard time, take a minute to think about that. If I would have blew my fucking noodles out against the studio wall, no American Guinea Pig, no Rap Apocalypse, no Song the Racist, no nothing we're talking about tonight, not this radio show, not the intense person, there only would have been that scared, fucking afraid, antisocial person that couldn't fucking talk to anybody and was like a hermit and just wrote music. And, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, but please listen to that, because you never know what's around the corner in life. As bad as you feel, as fucked up as you are, things can change, man. And I'm telling you, I got lucky. I'm not sitting here preaching, and I'm not saying I'm some happy ball of sunshine and I got it all together. What I'm telling you is is if you work hard, if you hang in there, man, shit happens. Shit will happen. Dreams come true. Goals are accomplished. You know, you just got to find out what means something to you. Some people put so much pressure on one thing, like, what's my purpose? Well, I don't know what my fucking purpose is. I just chase passions. You know, I get a passion and I got to engulf it and it's got to engulf me. I just want to be in love of that moment of my life with whatever it is. Same thing like with a girl. Like, you know, people are so racked up in their emotions, like, oh, I have to be guarded. Well, on the outside, I'm guarded. Guess what? I fall in fucking love with everyone. I get crushes on everybody. Well, I think that's beautiful. If anyone wants to laugh at me about that, then go a fucking head. But I don't give a shit. I know beautiful people and I got big fat crushes on a bunch of people. So fucking what? That's the way I think. And that's the problem with society. No one ever wants to stop and just take a minute and go, who am I? They want to, I don't even watch fucking TV. Unless it's on in the other room or some shit, you know, when I'm walking by or on the news at work or on the work at news. But what, you know what I'm saying? Like it seems like no one really stops and wants to get lost in their own mind and say, who the hell am I? You know, what's wrong with my ideas? I don't want you to live my ideas. I'm just telling you how I live. And if you get something from it, then good, because guess what? All I've done my whole fucking life, even as an artist, is I take pieces. You know what I mean? I like to take pieces and form my own creations, but no one's completely fucking 100% original. That just doesn't exist. I don't give a shit what anyone says. You are taking pieces. If you popped out of a pussy and landed on a table, you open your eyes, guess what? You're taking a piece of the world. You're taking a piece. Did I spill out enough there?
If it wasn't for you and a couple other people, there wouldn't be an Old Boy. So that's how much you should know. So, and people, because I got, at one time I was at that where you just said about blowing your brains out. There was a time that I was there, and your videos, and Sean, I'm not going to just say you, but and Brandon came along, and I watched them and I thought they were hilarious because I was a big horror. I've never seen anybody do movies like that. I've seen Sean, you know, Sean's good, cool guy, but you did it differently. And not only that, I got some awesome movies out of it too. Trust me on that, dude. So thanks for that too. I mean, the way you present a movie is it, and I'm just telling you, you do it, you could see the love that you have for that movie. And you just go into a trance at how much you love these movies, especially when they're autographed. You really, you know, I've seen some of your videos and like, you're like, oh yeah, look at this movie. And I have a lot of likes, like Cabin Fever is awesome movie, bro. I love that movie. I don't want to, we could talk about the whole, like 12 hours of just all kinds of movies we like, but let's get into the American Guinea Pig series. How did that all come about? How did you start talking to them and getting into, to that movie? And with the mask and
easy one, I'll give you some headway. One thing I got to leave out as far as American Guinea Pig, I'll dish out everything, but I'm going to leave it out just for the sake of leaving it out. Cause you know, I don't hold no grudges. I have no enemies. I really don't, but sometimes it's not like that. But anyway, I was a part of another movie. It just didn't work out. And I'll just say I stayed loyal to Steve. I just didn't feel like I wanted to be in the movie if he wasn't a part of the movie. And so that movie didn't go through, and Steve kind of went off and did his own thing. And one day I got a call from him. And just for the record, Steve told me to do the movie. He's like, you know, do the movie. I didn't feel right about it. And basically it came down to, I don't care what anyone says, not even Steve. I wanted to do what was right in my gut. And I didn't want to do the movie for me, you know. But anyway, Steve called me a couple months later and was telling me about AGP, American Guinea Pig, and how he was revamping the series and doing, you know, he had a new imagining type deal. And, you know, one day he sent me the script and he's like, I want you to read this. So I read it. And the whole time I'm thinking in my mind, like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to be like one of the handlers in the back. Like, maybe he'll show my face for 5 seconds in a mask or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking I'm going to be in the movie for 5 seconds, but I'm reading this script and it's just fucking relentless. And all I can think is, this can't be achieved, these effects, not at this magnitude. I mean, it isn't possible. I mean, you have to understand, you watch the movie now, and it may be easy for you to, but you got to imagine reading that shit on a script. It's just a nonstop fucking torture chamber. I mean, it did not seem like it could realistically happen on paper. It was just an effects highlight nonstop. But long story short, after I read the script, I was glued. It hurt me. I put it down a couple times. Not that I want to admit that, but it was a fucking hard, brutal read. And I told Steve, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm all in. I want to be a part of this. What do you have? What's your idea? And he said, I want you to play the actor. And then I kind of like had a, oh my shit, my pants moment. What the fuck? But I wanted it at the same time. As scared as I was and the power I knew of the role, because I knew where Guinea Pig came from and the significance of it. And I'm a horror fan. And it's like all this pressure, but at the same time, there was a part of me that says, I don't care. I fucking want this. But to sit here and say that I wasn't intimidated, yeah, I was hella intimidated. But until I hung up the phone, and then I'm the type of person to where, okay, I'm intimidated, so I got to put the work in. I got to put the work in. I got to fucking put the work in, because if I don't put the work in, I'm going to fail. So yeah, it was me strapping the jeans and belt on and ghost mask or goat mask, walking around my fucking house and walking outside when it's dark and getting myself into the character. Coming from music, I do certain things a different way. I'll just say that, but it was months and months and months of getting into that character and reading those lines. And I found out real quick. I thought, oh, well, I do rap. I memorize my rap. Once I found out when the lines do not rhyme, they do not stick in my brain the same way. Like, when something rhymes, I can get them to stick. Like, it's easy. When they don't rhyme and I'm just saying lines out in the open, oh, it's hard. But I fell in love when I created that character. Steve, I'll always be indebted to Steve because of him and because of the opportunity. I fell in love with that character. I fell in love creating characters, and it changed everything. I didn't know it was changing, why it was happening, but that's what sparked it. And there was a special moment on set. I'll always remember that moment on set. And all I'll tell you is when I did that speech, I'm not here to fucking praise my own acting or say nothing like that. It's not about that. And it's not about the film you even see, but it was about the moment on set that I shared with the filmmakers around me and the actors around me, that I had put in the hard work. I just felt like I had sacrificed everything and it paid off. I was detached during the time of filmmaking. I can't sit there and say like I was there taking everything in, because I was not there. But there are moments, like flashes in a fight, pieces that I remember that I'll always appreciate forever. That's American Guinea Pig.
The movie's fucking awesome, dude. I bought it, and it was so different from the other ones. I've seen the other ones from Japan, and Bloodshock. And then, Solomon's coming out, just to give them a shout out. That's coming out soon. I can't wait for that. But yeah, that's just such a great, crazy, extreme movie. If you guys like gore, fucking seeing people get cut up, check that movie out, American Guinea Pig, with Eigh8t The Chosen One. He plays such a fucking brutal role. That fucking mask is awesome too. I like how people, like, you've becoming like a cult legend with that mask, bro. People are making like pictures. I even have pictures of you. Like, it's fucking awesome, dude. I mean, I know you have to get in different mindsets when you do movies, because you have to become that. And I think, look at what, like what Heath Ledger, I think that ended up, you got to watch too. You seen what I think that ended up screwing him up too, because he got into the character just way too much. But it's awesome how he did it. But but it happens.
Yeah, I can't speak for Heath, and I know everyone's different. But I will say this, American Guinea Pig, they were long, brutal shoots, but it was a quick shoot. Now, Corey Brown, who I play in Crack Baby, that was over a year of coming back, doing different scenes. Like it was so ongoing. And basically I turned down everything while I was doing that, because I had to give everything to John for that one. You know what I mean? It had to be that way. It had to be that way. I mean, it doesn't have to be forever. Look, I am envious of people who can do 50 roles and get into their shit. I'm envious of it, but I cannot do that. Like I have to sacrifice fucking everything. It's my mental way of working. It's like when a writer, when he gets in his zone, that is my zone. That's where I excel for myself. Um, but I'll tell you, at the end of that role, like I was begging John, I'm like, please, I would have done anything, but I was begging him, like, all right, is this the end for sure? Is this the end for sure? Because I wanted, and not that it was a brutal role like American Guinea Pig, but I fucking, I wanted to wash that character off of me like a bad rape. Not to say that I hated the character. I love creating Corey and coming up with things and with John but when it goes on for a year, like I'm not going to bullshit you when there's a certain thing that I do to get into the character, and even when you get used to it, it's just like you want to wash it off. You know what I mean? Eventually, you want to either get into a new suit or you want to take a break and breathe. Something just it overtakes. I'm not saying that you become the character, but it overtakes. Like when I'm walking in to do my grocery shopping, like I'm carrying myself a certain way without knowing it, or I'm squinting because that's, I have my tics and I want to wash that off. I want to, like refurbish my disc. I don't even know what the fuck to say, but I want to cleanse my body and start new. That's how I take it. That's how it affects me.
That's interesting. And that's crazy. I figured that because I think if you get into certain characters like that, like you just have to be in a certain level. You can't even really be yourself anymore because you're basically becoming that character. And I understand a lot of people are just, they could do 10 characters, blah, blah, blah at a time. And I know some people are different. No big deal. Understand that. Other things. I mean, I'm going to be honest. We're probably going to have to do another show, a part 2 down the line, because 1 hour isn't going to be enough with 8. I'm just going to tell everybody that now, because there's just so much I want to know, and so does James. So I mean, another thing is like, what else are you looking to do down the line? I mean, is there anything like what's your next big goal you want, if you don't mind me asking you that?
Well, I have a few. And most people know this, but I'm just going to reiterate it. Every day I wake up and I have a paper. I've showed half of it online, but the half is everything I'm grateful for. I remind myself everything I'm grateful for. Then on the other half of the paper is all my goals. Well, even on this show, I'm not going to tell you every goal because number one, certain people would look at me like, I don't care if people look at me like an asshole, but they might seem assholish. They're not. I shoot very high for what I want. But I will tell you this. Yes, there are some big acting roles. Yes, natural bodybuilding is a big thing. I am not looking to compete because I'm more competing for roles. I go based on what the director wants, and I have a passion for that. So I'm not going to push a passion that I don't want. The stage for competitive bodybuilding, number one, is not for me. And I'll be honest, I don't have A1 genetics. But I'm not making excuses either. I go hard, but my passions are different. But some people disagree with me about that, and I find it funny because they're bodybuilders, which I respect. I mean, I bow down to their craft, but I'm not the same kind of bodybuilder. I don't have a cutting season and a bulking season. I have a fucking acting season. What's in season for what I got to do. That's what I'm going to do. I don't give a shit if it's winter or summer or how I look on the beach. I want to be so-and-so. That's my character. The book is a huge goal of mine. My book is already written. And hey, everybody out there in nowhere land who's fucking looking for a dream to fall on their head. Well, guess what? Getting my book edited and line edited and all that shit is going to cost me $1 million. So if you're someone who's got the skills and blah, 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 and want to be a part of something special, well, guess what? My book's already written. I just need someone to edit it, and I need someone I can get with personally. And yeah, and the name of my book, The Stories That Sculpted My Life. It's everything before you knew me, basically, before I put on the mask. And it's a bunch of horrible fucking shit, and it's a bunch of beautiful stuff. There's parts of this book you're going to love. You're going to feel bad for me. You're going to cry for me. And there's parts you're going to fucking hate me and probably never want to watch a video or movie of mine again. But I got to put it out there because the truth is, if it can help someone, one person, then I don't give a shit. And it was worth it, because all I can think when I wrote that book is if this helps one person like me that was going through what I was going through and, been through the horrible shit that I've been through, that I embrace now. I'm not sitting here frowning on my past. I love it and I embrace it. And I'm glad it's a part of me. But at that age, I did not embrace it and I didn't know who the hell I was. Hey, not to skip a tune, and I know you're asking about goals, but I want to go back to something if that's okay, because I think it's very important. You were talking about YouTube.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, here's a fucking magnificent thing to talk about on your show. You want to know how I came up with the character for Eigh8t The Chosen One and everything came about on my channel?
Yeah, go ahead, man. I would love to hear that one. That's awesome.
All right. Well, it's real
yeah.
easy. I was sitting watching YouTube and I came across people like Booger Boy Meister, Cool Duder, and I was like thinking about my love of horror and what I wanted to say and this and that. And then I knew I had to get a video camera, so I had to save up for that video camera. It's like $800 at the time, the one I wanted. And so I was saving, and then I had fucked up teeth. I hadn't got my teeth fixed, and I'm like, man, it's not fair that I have all these things to say, but the minute I open my mouth, people are going to judge me and not take my fucking words seriously because my mouth is messed up. That's bullshit, because they shouldn't be allowed to judge me. And that's the truth. Do you think that I'm afraid that anyone knows that my mouth was fucked up? No, I'm not. I don't. That's why I'm telling you now, because I don't have to tell you shit. But the reason I want to tell people that is because that was the truth. Like, I was hiding my teeth. I didn't want anyone to know my teeth were messed up because they would judge me. I wasn't afraid of comments like, oh, your fucking teeth are fucked up. No, I was more worried of me holding up Evil Dead 2 and you thinking, oh, what is this fucking guy right here? No, he can't even get his teeth fixed. And that was it. And as you can see, as an artist, my goals were all fucked up because I'm like, I got to get this camera. I don't have to fix my teeth. And that's how I sacrifice for art. The art will always come first.
That's crazy, because I always wanted to know why the whole masking. What was up with the whole masking? Where did you get that idea? Because I know people are gonna. Well, I don't want to know. I just want to know where that came up, and then why did you take it off? That was the other thing.
Oh, easy why I took it off. Easy why I took it off. I'll tell you that in a minute. The mask, there were things. Yes, I wanted to hide my teeth. That is the truth. But there were more things to it. Once I figured out the kind of mask I wanted, and it was just like a motorcycle mask I got offline, I also said, you know what? This sets me apart from everyone else, me wearing this mask. It does create some kind of mystery. And then I probably got lost in that of, oh, this is my mystique. But I'll tell you what, after American Guinea Pig and things started, taking off, I was doing a movie up in Tennessee, Everybody Goes to Hell, a short. You can watch it for free on YouTube. Everybody Goes to Hell. Check it out. I get to throw a fucking guy off. I get to throw a guy off a building. It was beautiful.
Awesome.
But while I was up there, I was on this huge set, like 30 people, camera and crew and all that shit. And I just remember, like, I'm going to get stuck in this mask. This was my dream, to be in this mask. And I got so much more to offer, man. Fuck that. I got more to offer. And I started like freaking out in my head, not in character because I finished the role, but as I was driving home, me and Tim McNutt, shout out to him, in my head, I was like, man, I'm not getting stuck in this mask. I got more to offer. And that's the weird thing about me and my life. Every time I accomplish some goal or dream and I get what I want something else. Like, I don't fucking want it anymore. Like, I don't want to. And part of me felt bad at first. Like, look, this is everyone's dream, to be like Kane Hodder, to be like in a mask and all these great things taken off and people trying to contact you. And the minute that started happening, I was like, man, fuck that. I ain't getting stuck in this mask. I got more to offer. And you want to see, don't let dreams hold you back. My teeth were fucked up the whole time I filmed Crack Baby Billionaire. And I just thought, hey, man, that added to my character. I was like, I'm going to take advantage of that. This guy would have fucked up teeth. Nothing in life can stop you, whether it's a flaw, an embarrassment, whatever. Fuck that, man. Throw on a fucking smile and have some confidence and say, fuck you. My teeth are fucked up. I'm different. And that makes me different than you. That makes me special. It's not an excuse. It is what it is. Like, you'll find your way through it. Now my teeth are fixed. So what? I could hide the shit and never bring it up. Fuck that. Now's the time. I want to tell you, I accomplished great shit with flaws just like anyone else. People think they have the worst shit going on in the world, and believe me, it's not. Someone has it 10 times worse than me. There's always someone hitting harder or hitting rock bottom that you don't know about. That's why whenever something bad is going on, I'm just like, I'm either going to use it to my advantage or whatever. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I hope it's making sense to somebody.
Oh,
It's
absolutely, bro. Here's the thing. That's so powerful and important, and here's the reason why. A lot of people will let little shit like that hold them back. They'll let little things that in reality don't really even matter stop them from doing things that they could do. I mean, I believe that every single one of us was given a gift before we were even born. There's something that each one of us can do better than anybody else in the world. If we just believe in ourselves and we step out in faith and just fucking do it and stop worrying about it, then you can accomplish great things. I mean, I'm a mountain man, bro. I live in the fucking mountain. Literally, I have a place way up in the fucking woods. There's bear and mountain lion and everything around me. I hunt for my food. I mean, I was so poor that I couldn't even afford groceries at one point in my life. You know what I mean? And I had a dream. This is something that I love and I believe I'm pretty good at. And instead of being afraid, I just stepped out in faith and did it. And the thing is, everybody can do that. Now, maybe not everybody can write a novel, or maybe not everybody can create a great rap album, or star in a movie. But there is something in each one of our lives that we are just unbelievably good at. And usually it's that thing is what we're passionate about the most, what we love more than anything. And if we would just step out in faith and believe in ourselves, then the sky's the limit, bro. I mean, we could literally accomplish anything. Every single one of you listening could do that. You just have to believe in yourself. And there's a certain amount of bravado that has to go into that too. And that's another thing that's cool about Eigh8t is when he looks at a problem, he doesn't react the way normal people do. And I think a lot of successful people don't, Like when I look at a problem, or old boy looks at a problem, or Eigh8t looks at a problem, we don't say, oh shit, that's a scary problem, I'm going to go hide. We say, fuck you, problem, I'm going to kick your ass. You know what I mean? You're not going to hold me down and tell me I can't do this. And I love that attitude. And if everybody had that attitude and everybody would just step up when they're afraid and say, fuck you, I'm not going to be afraid anymore, it would be an amazing, amazing world to live in.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I'll tell you, another thing is, now that I grow, now that I learn, I just can't help but look back and think of all the shit that I passed up. Now, I don't have a regret because I think that was meant to be. I'm here for a reason, and now I'm doing what I want to do. But I always look back and say there was a time when I was like that. There was a time when I was scared and afraid, or would always, turn the cheek, or, I got bullied when I was a kid. I was bullied before I became the bully. And, then I wasn't proud to be the bully. And then life is this fucking vicious, not even circle, but weird zigzag lines that throws you shit you don't expect. But I always look, I'm going to fucking win. Until I'm dead, I'm going to fucking win. I want what I want, and nobody can take that away from me. It's like the same thing when I meet girls. Like, look, I like to hang out. I love friends, but when work calls, look, I'm a ghost, because this is all or nothing for me. I fucking love this shit. And why do I have to? And that's why the divorce is the greatest thing that happened in the world, because why does a paper have to predict the way that I feel, or my feelings, or my emotions, or my passions? Like, if I have a passion for this, who's to say I don't have to submit to a way that's set up? Like, we don't have to have a family, right? I don't have to live by this code. Like, I can live my own way as long as I'm not hurting people. If I'm doing what I feel is right in my heart and things that make me happy, and I think everyone gets sets up in these certain structures, where they look at things, or, they set it up in their mind, like, this is how things should be. Is that how things should be? Or is that how you're thinking things should be? What do you really want to be? That's why my advice is to everyone out there, man, go get fucking lost in yourself. Shut off everything, turn off the electronics, sit in the room and think, who the fuck am I? What do I want for me? Not for anybody else. Not what do I want to show the world on social media. Not what do I want to type on Facebook, although I do love to put pancakes and hash browns when I'm eating that shit. I just love doing it. Don't get me wrong. But what do I want for me? What do I want for me? What do I really want for me? I want to be known as the actor who fucking sacrificed it all. Not the greatest actor on earth. You go fucking chase each other down for that. I want to be the guy who gave it all. Like when you worked with me, you said, man, that motherfucker, dude, he will fucking sacrifice his body. He will sacrifice him. You don't understand when this guy does his lines. Like this guy, he's not going into it with his vision. He's going in to listen to your vision. I don't want to go on the scene and steal the show. That ain't my fucking goal, and that ain't how I work. I'm trying to bring the setup. I want everybody to come to life. I want to shine. There is no point in making a movie with one fucking guy shining. Man, I want everyone to shine in my scene. Like I want to make love to you on screen, and your fucking brain. I want to fuck your brain on screen. You know, that's what I want. Like I just want it. I don't know.
Is there anybody you want to give a shout out, because our show is going to end in 5 minutes? I definitely want to do part 2 of this probably down the line.
Yes, there will. There will definitely be a part 2. Trust me, man. I'm sure we all got a bunch to say, and I don't know about you, but I feel hella inspired when I talk to you guys. Listen, shout out to Bloodline Designs, my mask makers, my original mask makers, and my friends. Shout out to my fucking brother, convention fucking partner for life, Tim McNutt, MC Nut. Shout out to my best friend, Sean and Kaylani. Sean Donahue with the Descort Service 2 campaign. Reach goal, and if they hit 5,000, they're going to make part 3. Can you say holy motherfucking shit? Shout out to Chris Woods. Shout out to Chris Woods, who I've signed on to do a role with. Can't say anything, but, you know, I'm just saying that. And definitely, look, real quick, can I say a few names?
Go right ahead.
All right, Crack Baby Billionaire, Drew Rocky James, Jules and Bob, Therius, Joe Mikowski, Pete Gerard, Jeremy Henderson, Crystal Pixie Adams, Kate Phoenix, Ashlyn Caputo, Kelly Helen Thompson, Amanda Welch, and the millions more involved in that movie. From the sound, Dan DeTita, you know, Corey Brown for doing the soundtrack. You guys know who that is. Just everybody who was involved with Crack Baby Billionaire. I learned so much from you all. I know a lot of people look at me like I'm this fucking force that walks around on set and I just got it all down. And hey, I want you to believe that. And I am a very confident person, but believe me, I learned so much from fucking everybody. And I am so grateful to be a part of this. And that's why I sacrifice everything. That's how I give back to the people around me. I want us all to fucking thrive. And I believe in Tampa, man. Tampa is where it's at when it comes to the film scene. I love film from everywhere, but I'm telling you, something is fucking bubbling there. Something is going to happen, and I'm going to be a part of it. Tampa Bay Screams, coming in August. Get your tickets. The Descort Service 2 premiere will be there. It's going to be fucking legendary. I will be in attendance with the audience, and I will even get my own room that night because I'm going to fucking party with the fans, man. Fuck that. Fuck acting like you're bigger than someone. You know, my work speaks for itself. I'm going to hang out. I want to live life with you guys and celebrate something that means something to me. I love you all. Thank you so much, James Hershey. Thank you so much, old boy, for having me on this fucking show. And you know what? You guys you made more than my night. You made this part of the universe just connect with me. And I feel honored, man. I'm loving it.
Thank you. And I want to give a shout out to Eigh8t and all our listeners, everybody out there. I want to give a shout out to Unearth and their movies coming out, Solomon, Songs of Solomon, American Guinea Pig 3. Check that out. And I'm so happy to have you on, bro. We're going to have you on again. You were like the awesome, dude. Better than I even thought. So go ahead, James. You want to finish it off. Good night, Misfits.
I just want to say thanks for coming on, Eigh8t, man. It was an honor to meet you, bro. It really was. You're a very interesting fella. And I really want to do another show, and I'm glad to hear you want to as well. And to all the listeners, I hope you enjoyed the show. We're definitely doing this again, probably a couple more times if Eigh8t is willing, because he's just a really, really good guest. We have like a minute left, so everybody please check out the show. Check out the YouTube channel. For those that are watching on the YouTube channel right now, please like and subscribe, and go check out Eigh8t's channel because there's a hell of a lot of really, really cool videos there. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description of this video, so check that out. And until we speak again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.